Oh, my God. Look, I made a mistake. It's been 3 years. Don't hurt me, please.
Oh, no.
What it do, Jab Turkeys? Another one that's typecast, and we're going to talk about him now. Michael Richards, Kramer. There's not many. I mean, we all know a Kramer in real life, but there's only one Kramer on the small screen. Seriously. People have tried. He was perfected on that. Mm-hmm. But the elephant in the room is back in, I think this was 2006, I want to say.
I want to drag it back to a little bit to between 2004 and 2005.
Okay. I remember I was in high school when this happened. And boy, did this break my heart. Because
it broke everybody's heart.
Every time I see this backdrop, I think about Kramer fucking up.
50 years ago, you had you upside down with a fork up your ass. You can talk your brain down, but rolls out. He's on
Oh my God.
As a black person, majority of black people said that is our character. A lot of us related to Kramer, you know. So when that happened, we're like, not Kramer. You know, we didn't expect anyone to act like that, but we were like, Kramer? This is the last person we thought would act like that. But as we said in the beginning, I have been a stand-up comedian. I'm going to say what Dave Chappelle said in a stand-up. I'm going to 100% agree with him. As a black person, terrible. Fuck him for that. You know, it's terrible. The racial things he said was like very detailed too. That's what made it really weird. As a stand-up comedian though, being heckled sucks.
I seen Kramer's tape. I learned about myself. You know what I learned? I think I'm only like 20% black and 80% comedian. You know what I mean? And black dudes can relate. You know what I mean, bro? Like when you saw that shit, you was furious, right? Black dude, me was like, Kramer, you motherfucker. Like, I was hurt. And the comedian in me was just like, whew, niggas having a bad set. Hang in there, Kramer. Don't let him break you, Kramer.
And I can understand blacking out anger. I can understand both. This is me being fair to the argument. Have I forgiven him for this? Absolutely, and I'll explain a little bit more on that later, but I want to hear your thoughts. Like, when you heard this, like, what did you think about it? Did it affect your viewing of Seinfeld and him as an actor? What do you think?
There's always that thing that people, I guess, hone on to, where it's like, I like the character, but I don't like the person. Right now, millennials...
The art and the artist.
Right.
Yeah.
Millennials are having the same struggle right now with...
Eminem.
Associating themselves with Harry Potter when they hear how horrible J.K. Rowling has an opinion about things.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different... Here's my thing. This is one thing that I struggle with the most. You did a wonderful episode last week, by the way, about the trial of R. Kelly when the Boondocks and how that is a big boomerang. I struggle with anything Michael Jackson now. I really do. It's tough for me. Granted, everything that has happened when everybody put their chips down, everyone sounds extremely hypocritical. It's sad. It's extremely sad. But, you know, that's how the world is, I guess. But answering your whole question from the get-go is just... The worst part is not being able to relate on the same concept. Not being black. Mm-hmm. Also to a point where there was a lot of things in your face as a young person where... the N-word is as freely and loosely used in not just that circumstance, and to Dave's circumstance where he was in other comedic jokes, skits, music, film. Yeah. I could go on and on.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of things where people had to deal with and put a grasp on, where it's just like, sure, that was a huge part of that culture, but you have to limit yourself on not saying certain words.
Absolutely.
Here's the worst part about the entire event. we tried citing or fingering the year on exactly when it happened. You know what I mean? You think about it. This is the first recorded thing that people relate to that went viral of like an actual meltdown. I will probably bet my money this is before the Britney Spears meltdown.
It was.
Okay.
It was. Yes.
So it's just like
she was shaving her hair. And
it's
shit.
not even paparazzi, because I remember when it hit TMZ when he bombed. Okay, and it's just now. I think it was another HBO show, Entourage, and somebody used like, you don't want to have a Kramer moment, referring to the incident at the Laugh Factory. So I could never connect the pieces. It broke my heart on how it ruined this man. Yeah. Entirely.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to go on that too, but go ahead.
And I really think what makes sense about him learning about forgiveness, because I know it took some black comedians to come forward and tell him it's okay. There was some reports of that. But the joke in Curb, where they do the reunion season or whatever, and he has the PTSD of people whipping out their phones.
Bullshit with the hat!
Put the hat back on your head.
You made a jump out of me!
No.
If only there were a horrible name that I could call you that would make you as angry as I am. What? Oh.
I want to call you a name that's specifically toward you. Yeah. I'm surprised they went there. Props to them for that. I don't think I would have had the balls to write that, but
he knows how to make himself a butt of a joke of something that he did. Not a lot of people have that humility.
Hell no. That's why I was just like, I'm surprised. It's funny, but not many people would have went there. No. Like, especially how sensitive that was, you know, toward people. I feel like, so I'm going to talk about how the process of what he did, and I kind of respect it. Immediately, when he went to, I think it was Letterman after, with Jerry introduced him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't really respect that. It did seem like a PR thing. It seemed like Jerry called him, you need to do this. And, you know, he did kind of seem sincere about that. You know, I understand being blacked out anger, but the thing that kind of pissed me off the most about it, I've never got blacked out anger and said, hey, the Jews are the problems for the world. Talking to you, Mel Gibson. I've never got blackout anger and said, you know, Mexicans are dirt. I never went that far. I don't understand. Like, that means that was already inside of you. That means that was already in your head. That's one reason I was just like, he might have been racist for a while. You know, I don't care what type of culture or background you are. People are people. People suck. You know, I'm not going to target something that you can't help, like your race or your gender or, you know, sexuality, all that stuff. So I think that's just ridiculous. Now, how he handled it after that, though, after the whole Letterman thing, I feel like he talked to not only black comedians, but he talked to, like, black leaders and stuff like that. And he understood how toxic it was. He understood this was something that happened around Katrina time, where a lot of black people were being, you know, fucked over by FEMA and everything going on with that.
George Bush.
And exactly. Kanye, shout out to Kanye on that one. So I like that he didn't just apologize and hide.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that when they do racial things or sexist things or homophobic things. They apologize. They do the apology, the tweet or whatever, and you never hear from him again. He talked to people because he knew he was 100% wrong, and he's been. Look this up on YouTube. A lot of black people walk up to him and with their camera phones and say, hey, Kramer, we love you.
As a black man, just say you're sorry to me.
I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
All right, brother. Thank you.
What's the big deal? You're Kramer, man. We all make mistakes, dude.
Cool.
We forgive Kramer, yes or no?
What?
We forgive Kramer, don't we? Black man and white man, we love the man.
We don't.
Okay, man,
Hey, in fact, watch this. We don't like him.
We don't even like
we love you, Kramer.
I've never seen that in the history of, like, black folks. Black people are very forgiving. You know, I gotta say that too. But I've never seen, like, people walk up to someone that not only said the N-word, but said, I was gonna hang you by a pole or whatever the hell he said. It's very specific what he said. And just be forgiving to this person. You gotta look up these clips on YouTube. I had to look them up myself. Like, wow. So I do initially forgive him because, first of all, cancel culture should be accountability culture. People gotta learn from this. So I forgive him. And I don't think a lot of people keep bringing this. When they do bring this up, it's not even to bash him. It's just to talk about a moment in time, kind of like what we're doing at the moment.
Sure.
So that's my feeling about it. But I can understand because, like he said, I'm black and I can forgive him, but I'm not the president of black people.
Damn Michael Richards, Kramer motherfucker walking around calling people nigga. They want me to be mad about it. I ain't fucking mad. If he can say nigga in front of some niggas and get away, then lucky for him. He said it in front of the right niggas. I bet you he couldn't come in this bitch and start calling somebody a nigga. It'd be a short show, just, hey, nigga! We'd have drugged that motherfucker out the Eric crowd, nigga. Just right up to Seinfeld's house. Just, Seinfeld, is this your shit?
Shit. You know, if somebody black doesn't, is not rocking with what he did, that's understandable. Very understandable. They don't have to. And you don't have to bash anybody for not forgiving them for that. So that's my piece on that.
Because, in the back of his mind, he was thinking, I'll get him the next show. There won't be a next show, Kramer.
Help keep your brother out the streets. Subscribe to my dad's YouTube channel. Love, peace, and chicken.